Everybody, LK here, back at it again with another video, and today, again, going to continue kind of like a character discussion again. One that I've been waiting to do, actually. We've talked about Tien, we've talked about Cell. What happened to Super Saiyan Vegeta in Season 2? What happened to this guy? I feel like Super Saiyan Vegeta has been like one of the characters that pretty much almost defined Season 1. He was used a lot in Season 1, especially up until around Evo. It wasn't until around after, maybe closer to the Season 1 finals where Super Saiyan Vegeta started to, let's say, die off, fall off a little bit. And I just want to talk about like what he's good at and why, because he's actually in a group of characters who I consider to be very good and very underplayed, excuse me. Him specifically, so of course when the game came out, he was in the block stun assist group, right? So if you wanted to mix people up, you had three options. You had SSJ Vegeta, you had Kid Buu, who's not on the screen but is still around doing the same thing, and you had Gotenks, who is not super present right now but also same thing. Super Saiyan Vegeta block stun is like, he would have to block for us to find out this magic number. What is it? I feel like it's plus 60 or something like that. Damn! Oh, he's mashing. Imagine not mashing. Okay, let's. Okay, 52. So it's plus 52, right? So when the game came out, you could literally just do this kind of thing. Some type of string like this or this, and like hit them. You kind of get the idea into like a mix-up. But people, of course, it's Dragon Ball FighterZ. People really complained about the assist, not just because of the mix-up, because Kid Buu was around, and people were using Kid Buu. So it wasn't just because of the mix-up, but it was because his mix-up was too good and his assist was too good in neutral. The thing that we're familiar with, right? This, the good old jump and call Vegeta, right? So the devs addressed this, and they made it so his assist became reflectable in block stun. So this is with guard cancel reflect right here. So now what happens is this. Okay. Now of course it's the CPU. So the CPU, if I did it to myself, right? Right. We've seen this a million times. We've seen this quite a bit. Now, this is the one we're familiar with. This happened around, this is probably the first major patch of the game last March, and we were pretty familiar with this. After that, Vegeta basically became like a heavy neutral character. Like, people were pretty familiar. Super good Ki Blast, super good Air Ki Blast, good movement, rocket kick. He had a bunch of stuff on his side, like move around, zone you. He was the original example of a character that you, the opponent, could not hit. He's very hard to hit. So what happened? So despite all these strengths, and he's seen a lot of success in the game. Like Hook was known for playing him. Goichi played him until after Evo 2018, right? Fenrich still plays him, but honestly, the answer's pretty small brain. Like, really, people consider this assist. So I consider SSJ Vegeta assist to be one of the best assists in the entire game. But most people, and definitely in the US scene, and probably just overall in the world, they just don't like that you can guard cancel reflect this assist. A lot of people tend to look at assist that you can reflect in block stun as not good assist, just because of that. Like, see, like Vegeta is another example. Like, the assist has really good like applications, but people are like, well, when you block it, I can reflect, so it's not good. So I feel like we should address this first before we look at like his other strengths, right? So if you haven't noticed, like on reflect, you're still around like plus 30, plus 32, depending on like how you time it. So the person who's attacking still has a lot of frame advantage. They get to confirm the situation, plenty of time to confirm the situation, and it's basically like a mini game. Like, do you think they're going to reflect again or not? Because of course, you know, it's reflect, so it cancels into itself. they could just keep on doing it. They could, but if they're wrong, you kill them. Most characters, as we know, have ways to like deal with reflect anyway. After that, so there are people out there who still actually like they'll call him and they'll still like go for mix-ups after, like high-low mix-ups, seeing if you're willing to bet. After that, there are people who will like dice roll Dragon Rush. It's kind of hard to see Dragon Rush and the explosion there a little bit. You have to be looking for a bunch of stuff. There's also a lot of like little trickery that you could do with like timing a lows that hits at the same time as Vegeta. Like I guess it would be, maybe let's try. Hold on. Or I guess there's a string to do would be something like this, right? So I thankfully got it. Okay. Please block. There we go. So this is kind of a little. This is kind of hard at times. You have to practice on your own, but if you see Vegeta and try to reflect, you'll get hit. So you have to wait a little bit more. There's the classic do a 6M. Do a 6M, call him. Why? Because you see him dash up, and you get smoked. Fenrich does that one all the time. That would require your opponent paying attention to your assist, which is a whole other discussion. So he has like a lot of way more tricks you could use for that as far as offense. But of course, the main strength is neutral. So the main thing about him is that he beats a lot of stuff that people think is really obnoxious to deal with. So, for example, let's say I played this. Let's bring out, where is the mercenary adult Gohan? There he is. A lot of teams that people say are annoying, like super annoying or obnoxious, or even as far as saying like, oh, they're a meta team. This player one team's not a meta team. I just have Vegeta there, whatever. But a good example would be like last year's Gotenks, Adult Gohan Yamcha actually really struggles against Vegeta assist. Or even like today's, we've seen this a million times where like, okay, KB throws 2S, Super Dash calls Adult Gohan, now they're in, right? This type of pattern all loses to just simple control mad space, can't hit it. That's the biggest thing about this assist. Because it's so high in the air, unlike normal, like let's say like a beam, where you jump, you might have a chance to like hit them. Maybe throwing a Ki Blast in time, or having some type of move that travels, like let's say I'm Adult Gohan, right? Like having this that might hit the beam or something. Vegeta hits in a place where almost no character can hit, so a lot of these like neutral patterns would lose to just calling Vegeta, and it's like super safe. Yeah, see, it's one of the only ways to actually punish Super Dash. Super Dash just become punishable on block because of because of Super Saiyan Vegeta. It's a really big advantage to have. So I always feel like we kind of go in a cycle in a season now, because this is the second season of Dragon Ball. It's about to end, right? So we started with Vegeta being everywhere. Then he fell off because no mix, right? Then it becomes heavy mix. Then we have like teams that either kind of rely on Snap or totally rely on Snap. We're talking about like Piccolo last year or Universal Fuzzy this year, or like heavy aggressive Super Dash plus assist teams, which ends up falling back to losing to Vegeta again. So I find it kind of interesting how we constantly go in this kind of cycle, and seeing that it really, like I said, this is the one character where, okay, maybe Cell and Tien, like Tien, there's a reason why he's gone, right? And Cell, you could argue that people can play him. He's definitely viable in tournaments, but I also understand why people don't play him. But Super Saiyan Vegeta is one of the ones where I'm like, seriously, why don't people play Super Saiyan Vegeta? If you're talking about offense too, because usually the lazy answer, like, let's go back to Cell. The lazy answer for why Cell doesn't exist anymore is, he's tall, oh my god, right? But the lazy answer for Super Saiyan Vegeta, you can't say he's tall, because it's not. So it's usually like, no mix. But he's got good snap setups, he could with his like J2H, right? He can do Universal Fuzzy to people. He doesn't necessarily need Kid Buu to do mix-ups. Like, he has the same type of mix-up as base Vegeta with Kid Buu, of course. With this, we've seen this a lot. And he could Fuzzy Talls all the same, so he could do most of the stuff that a normal character can, and he still has the same things of being really hard to hit. Never forget that you cannot super dash that, right? Because you're going to die. It's really easy to do too. I can use all day. So I'm just kind of surprised overall. He's like the first character I think in this series where I'm like, yo, why do people really not play him? And honestly, after going through all that, the real simple answer is no mix. But I mean, if I were you, I would kind of consider him. So it's like your neutral answer is going to be two things. Either you play double beam like I do, or you should consider Vegeta. Like, there is a Vegeta in the World Tour Finals. Actually, funny enough, that guy also plays Cell too. So that's kind of funny. That's kind of funny. Good stuff to Fenderich on that one. Alright, so let me know if you have any questions or comments. Like and subscribe if you feel like it. Of course, yesterday's video, there was no audio because that was from Monday's stream. But thank you, all 10,000 of you, for subbing to this channel. Let's keep going. Keep the channel moving. I will see you again tomorrow. Peace out.